Good afternoon, all. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully, most of them are there. Myself, Dr. Anand Mani from Sardar Patel Institute of Technology, a faculty member. I would like to introduce our esteemed guest for today's session, Mr. Hardik Joshi. Uh, Presently, Hardik Joshi sir is working as CEO of S.P.T and incubation support by DST Government of India. He is having 15 plus years of experience that includes leadership position in incubation, entrepreneurship, education, training, infrastructure, and sustainable development projects. He has supported 100 plus startups, including extending funding support under various Government of India initiatives. He has also conducted the entrepreneurship training programs for the different stakeholders, including international participants backed by MEA and GOI. Also, he has worked as at Science and Technology Park Pune, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad, UN Mehta Institute of Cardiology and Research Center, Ahmedabad, Center for Environment Education, Ahmedabad. He is having a qualification PGDM, MBA, Marketing and Finance, and basically he is a civil engineer, BE in civil engineer. Welcome, Hardik Joshi sir. With this short introduction, we may start our session. Yeah, over to you, Hardik sir.
Yeah, thank you, Anand sir. Hello. I
Yes,
hope
sir.
I'm
Yes, sir. You're audible.
clearly audible. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
There was some echo. Okay. So before I start, I just want to understand the audience expectation. So I can see the chat window right now. If some of you can help me understand what you want me to cover in this session, what you are curious about, that would help me probably direct this talk in that direction.
Sir, our Pravara Rural Engineering College students are also joined. So
Okay.
they are in some of them are in first year and some of them are in third year. So our expectation is to get their clear idea about all these concepts because they are totally new about this startup concept and entrepreneurship concept. Many of the cases students are having this only the mindset of having getting the job. Okay, so you please highlight from the point of view that what is the requirement from first year point of view, then second year, third year, final year, and how they can proceed further. That is very important for us.
Understood, sir. So I would cover some of the basics of entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem. All right. So I have to change my presentation quickly, but I'll be able to do that. Okay. What else? Anything else? Any other feedback? All right. I don't see anybody coming forward. All right. So allow me to share my screen. I will share another presentation. Yeah. Okay. some of the things that I wanted to share, right? So what I'm going to talk about today is my point of view of the startup ecosystem, what entrepreneurship is, what entrepreneur is, how startup works, what I have observed, right? So these are all personal point of view and experiences that I have probably seen people doing, or personally have worked with startups. So these are again experiences either I have gained or I have observed in the ecosystem, right? So more or less, this will be true in the sense, if you take a larger data set, almost 80, 90, 95% of the times what I am saying, you will also see in the ecosystem. But again, what I am saying is my experiences, and all of them cannot be considered as universal truths, right? There will always be exceptions, and you have to consider it. Again, I am not the person who will go by the theories a lot, right? So I would like to have this discussion going forward to be a two-way discussion. Please stop me wherever you feel having any doubts, any questions, you need any additional information. Feel free. I am not a professor like many of you are here, and again, for students also, I am not a regular faculty. And I encourage a two-way discussion. तो जब मुझे कोई questions पूछते हैं, तो ज़्यादा मज़ा आता है बात करने में, अदरवाइज ये आपके लिए भी बहुत बोरिंग हो जाएगा, राइट? इन शॉर्ट, दिस इज आई एम। आनंद सर ने बहुत अच्छा सा एक इंट्रोडक्शन दिया, बट नन ऑफ दैट मैटर्स, आई मीन डज नॉट मैटर, आई मीन टू से, जब हम एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की, स्टार्टअप्स की बात करते हैं। सो मैंने सिविल इंजीनियरिंग किया है, बट आई हैव नेवर प्रैक्टिस्ड इंजीनियरिंग पर से, and I am a trained management graduate who was trained to work with corporates in management roles, but मैंने वो भी कभी नहीं किया है. So clearly, I am someone who is not doing what he is trained for. But for past 15 years, I am in the startup ecosystem and happily supporting startups, budding entrepreneurs, and I enjoy my work. Right. So again, most of my experiences are in startup ecosystem, and that is why in the beginning I said I'll share a lot of my experiences, my observations with you. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. So we'll do a very small exercise. If you allow me, let me also share a Jamboard with you so that you all can give input. Okay, not happening. Uh, Anand sir, can you quickly allow me to switch my account? I'll join in a minute. Is that all right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
No
just
problem.
give me a minute. I'll not take more than that.
Yeah. all participants, sir has shared some jam file. You can yeah, let sir
I
steps.
hope you can see the Jamboard. Yes, no? Hello?
Not able to see. It is not
No, no,
possible.
they are supposed to
We are not able to see.
join that link, na sir?
I am
Yeah, yeah.
any
We,
okay, sir, we will what I'll do,
click.
I'll avoid doing this. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, click on the link given on the chat box. You can see the Jamboard.
Uh, Hello.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, I don't think people are comfortable. We'll avoid it. I'm so sorry for this
Yeah,
confusion.
it's
I'll
okay.
go ahead with the presentation.
Yes, yes. You want some exercise to be done, right?
Right, but that's okay. I can do away with
Or
it.
at the end we can try it out. Fine.
Right. So what I wanted to highlight is, so this is an exercise probably some of you, the teaching faculty can have with your students when you are talking about creativity and startup ecosystem innovation, right? So this is a very small exercise where you encourage the participants to be innovative, and I am also addressing to the students that this is a challenge that you should take. So there are 9 dots on the screen that you have to join, right? What you can do is you can only draw straight lines. Maximum lines that you can draw is the number of lines is 4, and once you start drawing you cannot lift your pen or pencil from the paper if you are doing it on a paper, right? So this is a challenge, and for completing this challenge, you have to think out of the box, like most of the innovative business ask you to, right? You need to be innovative to be successful in your entrepreneurial journey. Similarly, to succeed in this exercise, you also have to be innovative. And the way to do it, if you see my cursor, can you see my cursor on the top left point? Yeah, right. So what you can do is you have to draw a line like this, horizontal line, and you don't have to end here. You have to go out of the box, right? Like this. Similarly, your second line would be like this. Your third line would be like this, and then your fourth line would be like this. This is how you can connect all 9 dots, and this is the only way, right? So this kind of exercise force you to be creative, right? And creativity is considered to be a very important trait of being successful entrepreneur. That is what I wanted to highlight in this exercise, right? So these are very basic terms that I want you to understand before we jump deep into the subject, right? So there is something called creativity, there is something called invention, and there is something called innovation, right? हम बहुत सारी बात करते हैं कि लोगों को क्रिएटिव होना चाहिए, बच्चों को क्रिएटिव होना चाहिए। नाउ आई मीन अभी के दिनों में ऐसा हो गया है, इवन इन द वेरी अर्ली डेज ऑफ स्कूलिंग, इवन इन प्री प्राइमरी यानी नर्सरी, जूनियर केजी, सीनियर केजी में टीचर्स आर टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रिएटिविटी, राइट? सो व्हाट इज क्रिएटिविटी? फॉर मी क्रिएटिविटी इज अ पर्सनल स्किल, राइट? हमको पता है क्रिएटिविटी इज थिंकिंग समथिंग न्यू, चीज़ों को अलग तरीके से करना, all that is well taken, but at the same time we also have to understand that creativity is a personal skill, right? You cannot buy creativity from open market, right? And you cannot develop creativity also overnight. It's a gradual process, and you have to train yourself, your mind, to be creative, right? And either you be in entrepreneurship or you take a job. Nowadays, creativity plays a very important role. Even the bigger organization, corporates, want their employees to be creative, inventive, innovative, right? So these are very important skills as a person to have, right? And again, I would request, if you think that you are not very creative, start thinking in a creative way. Do many exercises. There are a lot of help available online, offline, that helps your mind to be trained to be creative, right? So that's very important. That's one. uh, Invention is something, eureka, right? The word eureka. So when Archimedes found out that the displacement of the water that happened was exactly of the mass that his body has. So that's an invention, something that you identify for the first time, something that you make for the very first time, something novel, something new. So आप जब वो पहली बार करते हो, that is a moment of invention. जब पहली बार हमको पता चलता है, so that's identifying, that's creating something new for the very first time. It's invention. And जब उसी चीज को you improve for better use, you improve for a lot of people, you improve for better efficiency, effectivity, is called innovation, right? And there is also something called science, because there are few teaching faculty members here. There is something called science also. What is the major difference? In invention and innovation, what you do is, innovation is converting your knowledge into money, whereas in science, you convert your wealth, your money into knowledge. A very simple example. कोई एक साइंटिस्ट है, he is making research, right? And identify new principles, new theories. Somebody observes that, uses those principles, make a product, and sell in the market, right? So that is converting knowledge into wealth. उन्होंने देखा कि साइंटिस्ट ने कुछ बनाया हुआ है, उन्होंने वो प्रिंसिपल्स को यूज किया, and using that knowledge, he generates a business and earns money. So that is converting knowledge into wealth. On the other hand, what are the researchers that what are the activities that do? So they know something, they write research paper, right? So they know what is happening, so they spend money, they spend resources, they spend their time, and convert that into knowledge, right? So something that they know, but to create a white paper or a research paper or a thesis, they use all their resources and convert it into knowledge. So this is the basic difference between scientists, academicians, science practitioners, and the innovators. Right. I'll give you a very good example that helps you understand what is invention and innovation. You all of us know telephones, right? So Graham Bell invented telephone for the first time. Right? So that is an invention. Right? Over the period, the technology has advanced. Right? तो पहले केबल वाले फोन आते थे, जिसमें वो राउंड डायल आता था, जिसमें हमको बारी बारी नंबर डायल करना पड़ता था. From there we moved to cordless telephones. From there we moved to mobile telephones. From there we have moved to smartphones. From there again we moved to smartphones with lot of features like cameras, lot of applications, right? So all these steps are innovation, right? So this is how innovators make experiments with the existing technologies and use that as a tool to generate successful business, right? So all of us, we have to understand, cannot be inventors all the time, but yes, we can be innovators. I'll give a very good another example also. We all know a technology called touch screen, right? Yes, no? I hope people are there. Yes, no? No responses.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Please understand, I am also on a laptop. I hardly can see anybody. So that is why I need these prompts so that I know that people are hearing. Anyways, so we know a technology called smart screen, touch screen, right? The touch screen technology was invented in 1970s. If you just Google, you'll know the technology was invented in 1970s, right? And for good 25, 30 years, the technology was in the cupboard, in locked condition. Nobody know कि इस टेक्नोलॉजी को क्या करना है, how to use it, where to use it, who will use it, right? So the technology was invented, and though it was very useful, but at that time nobody knew how to use it, for what product it to be used, right? And in 2000s, somebody called Apple thought this could be a very good technology for mobile phones, and it can help a lot of users to operate mobile phones very seamlessly, and they started using this technology, right? And that is how, though the technology was invented 30 years back, unless and until it was used in the right way, in an innovative manner, it was not successful, right? So this is again the basic difference between invention and innovation. And what I would again request is, try to see how you can be innovative. You always cannot be innovators, right? I mean to say inventors. But innovation is something you can achieve. You can observe a lot of things, improve them, and still make a lot of money, right? Okay. What do you see on screen is the basic difference between an employer and employee, right? Difference between an entrepreneur and people he employs.
Sorry to trouble you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Sir, we are not
Yes,
finding the change in the slide.
You have to make your slides show mode.
sir. It is just a second. I'll redo it.
You have to run slideshow mode.
Is this all right, sir? Now?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so we have a picture of Mr. Jeff Bezos, right? And this is, by the way, a very old slide, but even at that time, you can understand what this slide says, the imparity between the payments or the earnings of the owner of the company and an average employee of the company, right? So Mr. Bezos earns almost 89 lakh dollars per hour, whereas the average employee of Amazon earns hardly $15 an hour, right? So this is what entrepreneurs can create, and money is a very good motivation for a lot of people to jump into entrepreneurship. And I always say this: if you want to earn money, and if you can earn money in a good ways, in by legal methods, earn as much money as you can, and that is the biggest service that you can do for your nation, right? We know that the countries in the world are divided in three categories. There are developed countries, there are developing countries, and there are underdeveloped countries, right? Uh, we know companies like Tesla. Tesla is from US, right? We know a company called Microsoft. Microsoft is from US. We know a company called Google. Google is from US. We know many other companies like this. Take Walmart, take Dell, right? All these are very big companies, and they all are from US, and that is why US is considered to be the most developed country in the world, right? Company with a law, I mean, country with a lot of economical power, right? So again, when countries want to advance in terms of their economic power, want to create wealth, as governments they can do very limited things, and that is why they encourage people to be entrepreneur, right? So again, I would emphasize, if you can earn money in good ways, please do as much money as you can earn, and that is a service to the nation. Okay. Uh, Hope you know these guys, people on your screen. Any names that you can identify? Do you know any of them? You can take names, you can unmute yourself. All right, I will share some of
Chat
these names.
box, somebody has typed. Chat box.
Okay, right. So, you know Ritesh Agarwal. Now, तो everybody is seeing Shark Tank. तो Ritesh Agarwal तो भी Shark Tank पे आ गए. You also know Deepinder Goyal because he was also on Shark Tank. ओला हम सब ने कभी ना कभी तो किया ही होगा, right? And we all know Byju's, though Byju is struggling these days. But he was a very successful entrepreneur. He's still successful, by the way. And we never know, Byju's ka turnaround story could be an inspiring one. But these are some of the very young entrepreneur in Indian ecosystem that we should study. I have few more, right? There's somebody called Harsh Jain who has founded Dream 11. नौकरी, आइदर हमने इनका पोर्टल यूज कर लिया है या हम ग्रेजुएट होने के बाद तुरंत ही यूज करेंगे टू अप्लाई टू सम ऑफ द कंपनीज. सिमिलरली वी हैव यूज पेटीएम. मेक माई ट्रिप भी हमने कभी ना कभी तो यूज कर ही लिया होगा, राइट? देयर आर फ्यू मोर. नितिन कामत ऑफ जीरोदा, टीम अन एकेडमी, टीम स्विगी, लेंसकार्ट पीयूष बंसल. My point of sharing their pictures is these are very young people from Indian entrepreneurship ecosystem who have started early their entrepreneurial journeys and have achieved a good amount of success, right? These are very inspiring stories. So anybody who wants to jump into a startup ecosystem, who want to be an entrepreneur, or who want to inspire young students to be entrepreneurs, should read about them, should learn about them, what they have done, what kind of problems that they have faced, how they have overcome the problems, right? And this can give you a good learning. A wise man has said, it is good to make mistakes and learn from it, but it is better to learn from other people's mistake, right? So we can also learn about these successful entrepreneurs, their stories, and understand what type of challenges that they have faced and how they have overcome and why they are successful, or what sort of problems that they have faced and how they are struggling, right? And this can help you a lot when you are building your own business. Okay. So that leads me to the question that who is an entrepreneur? Any responses? कोई बोल सकता है? Who is an entrepreneur? One word answers will also do.
You can put your answers on the chat box also.
So unfortunately मैं Google Meet में हूँ. I cannot see chat box.
Okay, sir.
Anyways, okay. So there are many
I will repeat it
definitions.
for you, sir. I
Yeah,
will
please go
repeat it
ahead,
for
sir.
you. Yeah, Dr. Roshali said that it is small own business.
Okay.
Any answers further? Yeah, Dr. Sanjay, MSME, anyone? Dr. Harshvardhan, anyone who generates job work?
Okay.
Yeah, these many answers only.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Dhaneshwar Jadhav,
Understood.
businessman is known as entrepreneur.
Okay. Good. So I do not know, by the way, the exact definition, but as I said, I have my understanding. I'll give you a example, and you help me take a decision whether we will take him as an entrepreneur or not. Okay. So there is one, there is a poor guy, right? And he has accumulated some money. He has very young family. And वो क्या करते हैं? He buys an auto rickshaw and start running his auto rickshaw, right? तो वो अपना ऑटो रिक्शा चलाते हैं और उससे पैसा कमाते हैं. And that is how he is helping his family, earning bread and butter. Do we call him an entrepreneur? Yes, no? सर आप मुझे जरा चैट में पढ़ के बताएंगे, कोई यस नो लिख रहा है
Yes.
तो that would
No,
help me.
no. One answer I got it from.
Okay, why no?
Harshvardhan and Anushree said that it is no, sir. Why no?
Okay.
Harshvardhan said that generating job is important for others.
Okay, only generating job? Then in that case, government is also entrepreneur?
Anushree
Okay.
said that there is no creation.
All right, there is no creation. Okay.
Again,
Okay.
Harshvardhan said that earning opportunities for others.
Okay. Okay, let me take this example forward. Now, this guy is saving money from running the auto rickshaw, right? And now, अपने saving से he buys one more auto rickshaw. He hires a driver, and now he has two auto rickshaws. थोड़ा और पैसा बचाता है. Now he buys two more auto rickshaws. तो अभी दो की जगह चार ऑटो रिक्शा हो गए, तीन ड्राइवर हो गए, and he continues running the business. थोड़े टाइम बाद और 8-10 रिक्शा ले लेता है. ऐसे ऐसे धीरे 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 करके now he owns 100 auto rickshaws. He employs 100 drivers, and now his main job is to manage all these drivers sitting in his office, and a few more other people helping him manage the fleet of the auto rickshaws. Do we call him an entrepreneur now?
Yes.
Any responses, sir?
Yeah, Harshvardhan sir said that in this scenario it is yes.
Okay, because he is generating
He
employment.
said that anyone who is running his own business and
Okay.
earning money could be entrepreneur.
Right. तो वो तो पहले भी करते थे वृषाली. Right? He was driving one auto
So
rickshaw
this
and
one
still
is
he
also
was
saying
earning
yes.
money. So what I have observed over a period of time between a व्हाट आई वुड से इज, जो हमने पहले एग्जांपल दिया जहां पे वो खुद एक ऑटो रिक्शा चलाता था, I see that example as an example of self placed or somebody who is earning for himself, right? So it's a kind of self-employment ka example, right? And when I kind of took that example forward, जहाँ पे वो और भी ऑटो रिक्शा खरीदने की कोशिश कर रहा है, he is employing people. There I would say his ambition to earn more money, his ambition to create wealth, his ambition to solve a problem that is faced by a lot of people, make him I mean, different from self-employed people, right? So, and I have seen this personally. जो successful entrepreneurs होते हैं, they enjoy earning more money, they enjoy serving to more people, they enjoy helping other people, they enjoy being in position of power where they can give command to 10 लोग, 15 लोग, 20 लोग, 50 लोग जो भी उसको एम्प्लॉय करते हैं, I mean, the employees of the company, right? But again, as I said, mainly their ambition to earn more, their ambition to serve more people, their ambition to create wealth for themselves and their stakeholders sets them apart, and that is why they are entrepreneur, right? So these are some of the codes that I often use, right? So Mark Cuban, who is a successful entrepreneur investor, says someone who can identify the business they want to create and see where it is going and do the work to get there, right? It's an entrepreneur. But I like the second quote more, which says a person who solves problems for people and very importantly at a profit, right? Is an entrepreneur. Right? So you identify there are a lot of people facing a problem, and if you can solve that problem for a lot of people, and while doing all this, if you can make money, you become a very successful entrepreneur, right? A very simple example, हम सब ने ओयो रूम्स यूज किए हैं, राइट? तो रितेश अग्रवाल ने देखा था कि there are a lot of people traveling, lot of people stay in hotels, but they do not get value for money for the money that they are paying, right? तो अगर हम इन सब होटल्स को हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे इंटीग्रेट किया, वी स्टैंडर्डाइज द रेट्स फॉर kind of facilities that they offer that can solve a lot of people's problem, right? Make my trip. Deep Karla ji ने देखा कि there are a lot of people want to go for vacations, but उनको holiday packages छोटे छोटे लोग जो छोटे छोटे travel operators हैं वो बना के देते हैं. There is a lot of differences, right? मिस्टर ए ने जो ट्रैवल पैकेज दिया वो मिस्टर बी के ट्रैवल पैकेज से बहुत डिफरेंट होता है, चार्जेस भी बहुत अलग टाइप के होते हैं. पीपल जनरली आर नॉट गेटिंग राइट वैल्यू फॉर मनी एंड दे क्रिएटेड मेक माई ट्रिप, राइट? भाविश अग्रवाल, ओला, उन्होंने देखा लॉट ऑफ पीपल वांट, भाविश अग्रवाल सिमिलरली टू उबर, राइट? ओला एंड उबर, दे हैव सीन लॉट ऑफ पीपल वांट टू हायर कैब्स, बट उनको कैब जल्दी से नहीं मिलता, मिल जाता है तो फेयर्स बहुत हाई रहते हैं, राइट? शॉर्ट ट्रिप्स कोई लेता नहीं है. सो दैट इज व्हाई दे क्रिएटेड ओला एंड उबर. सो इफ यू आर सॉल्विंग ए लॉट ऑफ पीपल्स प्रॉब्लम एंड व्हाइल डूइंग इट इफ यू मेक मनी, you become a successful entrepreneur, right? So again, my request to all of you who want to be entrepreneurs, start observing, right? See around you, observe your environment and see what sort of problems are faced by a lot of people, and see if you can identify and solve one of these problems. That's a good opportunity for you to build a successful business, right? The word entrepreneur comes from French language. The original word is entreprendre, which means to undertake. but it is a very similar word in Sanskrit, which is called antah prerna. These are very similar words. And why I'm mentioning this over here is people who are self-inspired people, self-motivated people, right? Who can find motivation within them. Uh, they are very successful entrepreneurs, right? So if you are again wanting to become a successful entrepreneur, you need to find your motivation to continue doing that activity for a longer run, right? People who are externally motivated, that external motivation do not last for a longer time, but if you are self-inspired, motivated from within, that takes you very far, right? So identify things that motivates you, and that will help you build your business in a longer run, right? There are many entrepreneurial traits. If I tell you to list them down, I am sure at least 50-60 traits हम लिख पाएंगे. I have identified, written few of the traits in 5 major categories. But again, all of them are self-explanatory, right? When we do this exercise in person and talk to people, lot of people give feedback like entrepreneurs are creative people, risk-taking people, good managers, hard workers, people who can work for longer times, people who want to earn money, people who want to generate employments, people who want to create wealth, people who are imperfectionists but take faster decisions, right? People who can take risks. So there are a lot of traits, and most of them are self-explanatory. And this is a reference slide that you can use and start probably identifying whether you have these traits or not, or whether your students have these traits or not. Uh, Most of the studies says that if you do not have some of these traits can be developed over a period of time by doing certain exercises, certain studies, right? So again, overall, if you want to be an entrepreneur, start developing the traits to become successful entrepreneurs, and in the longer run, that will help you, right? Similarly, as we say, what is an entrepreneur? Similarly, I have a very good example of entrepreneurship. Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, right? The guy who has founded Facebook. And one of the quotes, by the way, this is not a quote by Mark Zuckerberg, but this is one of the very famous quote which says, "Okay, entrepreneurship is a choice that people make, right? It's a difficult choice to living a few initial years of your early life, like most people will not, right? But the advantage of making the difficult choice is that you can spend the rest of your life like most people cannot, right? So Mark Zuckerberg has made this choice in his early days to work very hard, create a platform called Facebook. बहुत दिनों तक वो continuously code लिखते रहते थे. He's a by the way college dropout, right? And he started working from a garage, very small garage, right? But he made that difficult choice, and उस choice की वजह से now he has created so much of wealth, right? That he enjoys most of the luxuries of the world, right? Whatever he wants to do, he can do it, right? आज के दिन में अगर मैं बोलूं कि मार्क जुकरबर्ग जो सेकंड फोटोग्राफ में जिस जगह पे गए हैं अपनी फैमिली के साथ, मुझे भी वहां पे जाना है, मुझे भी उसी जगह पे रुकना है, ऐसी ही चीजें करनी है, राइट? बट मैं नहीं कर सकता. क्यों? बिकॉज ना ही मेरे पास इतना पैसा है, राइट? ना ही मेरे पास उतना टाइम है, राइट? ना ही मेरे बॉस मुझे ये अलाउ करते हैं, राइट? इतना छुट्टी नहीं है. So there are a lot of constraints. But if I had if I had my own business, तो मेरे को किसी को पूछना नहीं पड़ता, right? If I had made a successful business, probably I could do that, right? So entrepreneurship again is a very difficult choice that very few people will make. आप भी जब most of the students here, आपका भी जब engineering course या आपका जो भी course you are enrolled into, आप जब खत्म करोगे you will also observe majority of the students will go for placements. In very few will say कि हमको placement में नहीं बैठना है, we will build our own business, right? And this is the difficult choice that you have to make. But again, आप जब ये choice करते हो, you agree to do a lot of hard work in initial days, so that you can enjoy in your later days, right? I'll give you a very beautiful example. I was handling DST's training programs throughout the nation when I joined this ecosystem. और साउथ का एक कॉलेज है जहाँ पे हम ऐसे ही एक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम कर रहे थे. व्हाट इज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, स्टूडेंट्स क्या कर सकते हैं. एंड आफ्टर दैट ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम एक ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स केम फॉरवर्ड, राइट, और वो आके हमको मिले. एंड वी सेड सर हमको आपका थोड़ा हेल्प चाहिए. मैंने बोला बोलो, आई मीन इफ आई कैन डू आई विल ट्राई एंड सी कि मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. एंड दे सेड कि सर हमको एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे कुछ करना है, वी ऑल आर इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स, बट हमको ज़्यादा तो नहीं पता क्या कर सकते हैं. बट हमको ये पता है कि हम जिस कैंपस पे रहते हैं उस कैंपस पे बहुत हार्डशिप है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑलमोस्ट 14-15 ईयर्स बैक क्या हुआ था. एंड बोलते हैं हमारा कैंपस बहुत बड़ा है, देयर आर अराउंड 45,000 स्टूडेंट्स ऑन दिस कैंपस. बट हमारे पास हमको कुछ खाना पीना होता है, हमको कुछ एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए कुछ चाहिए होता है, या हमको स्टडी के लिए भी कुछ चाहिए होता है, तो आवर चॉइसेस आर वेरी लिमिटेड. तो मेस का टाइम फिक्स है. मेस भी हमको जब खाना खाने जाना होता है हमारी हॉस्टल से 2 किलोमीटर 3 किलोमीटर ऐसे दूर दूर जाना पड़ता है. देयर इज ओनली वन कैंटीन, देयर इज ओनली वन मेस. तो ये बहुत ट्रबलसम है. तो अगर आप हमारे प्रिंसिपल को बात करें कि स्टूडेंट्स को एक स्टोर खोलने के लिए जगह दे दो, राइट, तो वी विल ऑपरेट अ स्टोर फ्रॉम हियर. व्हाट वी विल डू इज हम यहाँ पे कुछ चीज़ें रख लेंगे सर, और जो भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो हमको सिर्फ एसएमएस कर दे उनको क्या चाहिए, तो वी विल डिलीवर इट टू देयर हॉस्टल रूम्स, राइट. ये अभी बहुत ही बेसिक साउंड करता है, बट अगेन ये 14-15 साल पहले की बात है जब ये डिलीवरी एप्स इतने तब नहीं थे, राइट. एंड वी वेंट टू द प्रिंसिपल अग्रीड एंड स्टूडेंट्स स्टार्टेड ऑपरेटिंग फ्रॉम द स्टोर. इट वेंट सो वेल कि 3-4 महीने में स्टूडेंट्स जो इनिशियली वो 3-4 चीज़ें रखते थे, पहले सिर्फ पैक फूड रखते थे और कुछ कॉलेज स्टेशनरी रखते थे, वो सारा ही एक दिन में ही उनका खाली होने लगा, राइट. एंड इन 6 months टाइम ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स, देयर वर ग्रुप ऑफ 4 पीपल, ये ऐसी जगह पे पहुंच गए कि उनके पास टाइम नहीं था, बिकॉज दे ऑल्सो वर इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स. तो उन्होंने बाजू के विलेज से 2 लोगों को हायर किया फॉर मेकिंग डिलीवरीज, लोगों के यहाँ जाना. दूसरे साल तक उनका बिजनेस इतना बढ़ गया कि उनको 6 लोगों को हायर करना पड़ा. एंड बाय द टाइम दे रीच दैट प्लेसमेंट सीजन, इनका प्रॉफिट वाज ऑलमोस्ट 10 लाख रुपीस. एंड उस टाइम पे उनका एवरेज प्लेसमेंट से दे वर मेकिंग मोर प्रॉफिट्स. तो उन्होंने प्रिंसिपल को जाके बोला कि सर हमको प्लेसमेंट में नहीं बैठना है, वी विल कंटिन्यू डूइंग दिस बिजनेस इफ यू अलाउ ऑन आवर कैंपस, एंड सिंस दिस इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन, आप हमको दूसरे कैंपस पे भी करने दोगे तो विल कंटिन्यू डूइंग दिस बिजनेस. और उन्होंने और 4 कैंपस पे सिमिलर सर्विसेज चालू कर ली. एंड इवेंचुअली 4 साल में उन्होंने अपने 4 कैंपस पे ये बिजनेस बेचा, एंड दे मेड ऑलमोस्ट 2-3 करोड़ रुपीस by selling this business. And this is a true story, by the way. So a lot of small things can lead to good successful examples. It's just that it's a matter of trying hard, right? And these students tried very hard and created a successful business. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंगली जब वो ये बिजनेस करते थे कैंपस पे, उनका झगड़ा कैंटीन वाले से होता था, बिकॉज कैंटीन वाले का बिजनेस इन लोगों ने बहुत इम्पैक्ट किया था ऑन ऑल कैंपसेस. Canteen guys wanted the students to go out, which I mean, what a good example के एक successful canteen वाले business को भी these young chaps could give a lot of trouble, right? So again, this is a matter of trying. This is a matter of choice, and if you do it right, you can create a lot of value for you and your customers. Right? This slide again shows basic difference between an employee and entrepreneur, right? Employees work for short times, their seriousness is very less. Uh, Employees generally try to, they try to go away from the work once the designated time is over, right? Whereas entrepreneurs, they put in serious efforts. They like to work for longer hours, right? Entrepreneurs create support for other people where employee receive support. And again, basic difference, the major one is employees work for immediate gains. हमको वो मंथली सैलरी चाहिए होता है, और उसके लिए most of people are working. Whereas entrepreneurs can wait, right? They create wealth, they wait for long-term gains, and that is why these are the patient people and enjoys a lot of benefits of being patient, right? These are some of the motivating factors that you will see why people turn towards entrepreneurship, right? To follow their own dreams, to prove to the world or assume respectful position, right? I always say that I am right now, मैं ये lecture ले रहा हूँ, आप कितना attention से सुन रहे हो मुझे पता है, बट अगर मेरी जगह यहाँ पे मुकेश अंबानी या मार्क जुकरबर्ग बोल रहे होते तो आपका अटेंशन कितना ज्यादा होता, the level of respect would have been totally different, right? So people who enjoy all this stuff, they turn towards entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship also provide unlimited opportunity to work and be benefited, right? मैं अभी जॉब में हूँ, आज सैटरडे मेरा छुट्टी होता है, बट मैं अभी ये लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ, क्या मुझे कोई एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट देगा मेरा ऑफिस? नहीं, राइट? बट सिमिलरली इफ आई ओन एन आउटलेट, ए रेस्टोरेंट, मैं हर रोज 10 बजे बंद करता हूँ, 10 बजे की जगह मैं रात को 12 बजे बंद करना शुरू करता हूँ, 2 घंटे में आई वुड डेफिनेटली हैव फ्यू मोर कस्टमर्स एंड दैट अलाउज मी टू अर्न मोर, राइट? सो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में टू deploy your full potential, earn more, all these opportunities are there, जो employment में नहीं होती है. That is why people turn towards entrepreneurship. I mean, there is lot of freedom. आप किसके साथ काम करना चाहते हो, आपको कौन पसंद है कौन नहीं पसंद है. Being in employment, right? I cannot choose my boss or I cannot choose my fellow colleagues, right? But in entrepreneurship, all this is possible. Your working hours, your location, your team, and all these little things adds up, right? And these all are motivating factors for people to turn towards entrepreneurship, right? There's also people who observe things in the ecosystem, and they believe that there are some solutions in the market, but we can provide better solutions, or we can do these things better than the existing solution, and they turn towards entrepreneurship. We all know there is something called Zomato in the system, right? But there is also Swiggy in the system. So Swiggy people thought that we can do this job better than Zomato does, right? And that is why they also started similar company. And they all are now running successful businesses, right? So again, these are different motivating factors that help people turn toward entrepreneurship. And similarly, there are some social constraints. There are some constraints with our educational system. There are some constraints with the lack of knowledge in the ecosystem, lack of information in the ecosystem that prevents people turn toward entrepreneurship. In Indian context, if I say, हमको हमारे family को बहुत convince करना पड़ता है. Our friends and relatives have certain expectations once you finish your studies, right? And that is the biggest constraint in the Indian ecosystem. And that is why a lot of people जिनके पास अच्छे ideas होते हैं, they do not turn toward entrepreneurship because of the social and cultural factors, right? Our educational system talks about entrepreneurship only when we are in graduation, post-graduation, right? Whereas in a lot of developed places, entrepreneurship curriculum starts from schooling, right? So they know कि business क्या होता है. हमारे यहाँ problem क्या है? Science graduate does not know कि how to build successful business, mark sheet, I mean balance sheet क्या होता है, profit and loss statement क्या होता है, how to build business plan, where to get information, कहाँ पे register करना है, right? So all this lack of knowledge, lack of concepts or market knowledge, or you can say skills, right? Science people does not know commerce, commerce people does not know science. So all this leads to create constraints that prevents people from turning towards entrepreneurship. However, I must admit that things are improving. There are a lot of initiatives now taken by government. There are a lot of training programs in schools, in colleges. This session is also an effort in helping people understand about entrepreneurship, where to get funds from, right? So I must say things are improving, at least in our ecosystem, and probably 5-10 years down the line, we will be in much better place, right? I'm skipping this slide, by the way. There is a lot of, understanding for educators. But this is a slightly old slide which says there was a national ambition. So India had targeted to be $10 trillion economy. And what this slide says is, by the way, this is a study by, I guess, KPMG or this is one of the leading research firm that has published this study. And what it says is, if we as an India, as a country, want to achieve this target, right, in a time frame that we had decided, 60% of the target can be achieved by the existing solutions, existing companies, existing kind of products available in the market. But the 40% can only be achieved if we introduce new solution into the market, new companies, new innovation that comes, right? And that is why you see a lot of startups coming forward. Government is pushing startups a lot, offering a lot of programs, funding also, a lot of trainings, coaching, right? Because we want to achieve this target, right? So this demonstrates or it helps us understand कि अगर हम कुछ नया करते हैं तो there is a lot of scope currently in the ecosystem that encourages people to do new activities, new businesses, right? I am always asked which are some of the promising sectors, and I always say there are no good sectors, no bad sectors in the country or in the ecosystem. There are good or bad business plans. There are good or bad execution strategies. There are good or bad understanding. There are good or bad people or entrepreneurs who could not execute. But still, these are some of the sectors that have seen a lot of traction in the past few years, and we continue to see a lot of traction in coming few years, because इन सारे sectors में इतनी सारी companies बनी नहीं हैं, right? There are very few solutions in these spaces, and that is why there is a huge scope in some of these sectors if you are building company in next few years, right? So these are some of the emerging sectors. This list is not an exhaustive list. You can add, subtract some of these sectors. but in short, few prominent sectors where you see a lot of startups being formed in recent times, right? And again, what is a startup? I would say startup is a company. I come from an incubator, right? And our main job is to support startup. And we like to work with startups, or we like to work with a company who wants to grow fast, who are designed to grow fast. Like there will be lot of ambiguities with these startups. They do not know what their product is, and when I say do not know, in the sense they lack the understanding. They lack the understanding who is the customer. They lack the understanding how to make money. They build product, they develop technology, but they do not understand this. And as an incubator, our job is to help them answer all these questions, and at the same time help them develop a business plan so that they can grow very fast, right? I'll give a very simple example. आज मैं अगर आपको पूछूं, right, कि there is a company जो खिलौने बनाती है, who makes toys, right? And so who are their customers? Can I have quick answers? Who are the customers? And sir, if you can help me read these answers. A company who's making toys.
Children.
Children. Okay. Any other answer?
Their parents, Harshvardhan said.
Their parents, right. So we have got two answers, children and parents. See, so there is a confusion. Why children? Why parents? Right? And we need, when we are building a company, we need answers for these questions. In this case, it is slightly complex, right? The toys will be used by children. ये खिलौने से खेलेंगे तो बच्चे, but खरीदेगा कौन? उनके parents, right? So sometimes
Aarti
the
madam said it is
parents,
school also. School
right?
also.
Yes. So I mean to say adults or children, right? So sometimes your users are different, but the customers or the buyers are different, and you have to understand. So sometimes the parents are making the buying decisions, but in some case, the children makes the buying decision and enforce these decisions on their parents, right? For some things like chocolates, parents को पता ही होता है कि chocolates देने चाहिए, but sometimes बच्चे जिद करते हैं, and parents have to, agree करना पड़ता है, right? I'll give you another example. एक entrepreneur है, एक company है, they make medicines, right? Who are your customers? Generally, the patients are your customers.
Hospitals
Right?
also.
But if you see the medical practices, the buying decision is not made by the patients. It is made by the doctors, right? आपको जब तक डॉक्टर दवाई लिख के नहीं देता है, तब तक आप वो दवाई नहीं लेते हैं, right? So in this case, you have to influence your medical doctors so that आपका कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट ज्यादा बिकेगा. एंड इसीलिए आप जब भी कोई डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो, you also see a long queue of MRs, medical representatives trying to sell their products, right? Though डॉक्टर कभी खरीदता नहीं है, but he can influence a lot of people. So ये सारा understanding as a startup हमको develop करना पड़ता है. These are relatively simple situations, by the way, but when you are into actual business, things are little complicated, and you have to understand all this that help you develop your business plan, right? So that is there, and these are some of the major reasons for failures for startup. And if you see the top reason, right, the very big one is in most of the cases when it comes to technology products, people make the products and then try to sell it, जबकि मार्केट में उसकी जरूरत ही नहीं होती है, right? My request to all of you is if you want to build something or if you want to turn towards entrepreneurship, try and study the market first, try and study the customers first, right? The biggest resource at young age you are putting in is your time, right? When you spend 2, 3, 4 years in building something and then realize कि हमने जो बनाया वो तो मार्केट में कोई लेने को तैयार ही नहीं है, which could be very demotivating, right? Instead of doing that, go to your customer first, go to the market first and see कि उनको किस टाइप का प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, right? And develop that understanding. And after doing that, if you make something and try to sell it, there is a higher chance of being successful. अगर आपकी स्टडी ही आपको कहता है कि what you were thinking about is not going to succeed, और आपको लर्निंग बहुत जल्दी हो जाता है, let's say in 3-6 months, you can do something else, you can turn toward new idea, you can start something else also. बट अगर 4-5 साल स्पेंड करने के बाद वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हमको मिलती है, that could be very demotivating, right? So my request is, go study in the market, study your customers and identify needs first and then try to build your solution, instead of building the solution first and then trying to solve it, right? And there are some more examples also. We all, being from science and technology background, we understand नहीं समझता है. Majority of the science and technology entrepreneurs, they do not understand commerce side of the business, right? So if you cater to the top 5-6 problems, there is a very high chance of your startup being successful in the longer run, right? So I'm just highlighting this so that people can refer to it, and while they make informed decision, they study these aspects, and this will help in building successful businesses, right? And most of the people in the ecosystem, be it at early stage or at a early revenue stage, they always talk about funding. इकोसिस्टम में पैसा कहाँ से मिलता है, हमको पैसा कहाँ से मिलेगा, मिलता नहीं है. So these are various resources that help people at early stage who want to build startup avail funding support from, right? The easiest support that you can receive is from your personal resources or your friends and family. Then being students or faculty members, nowadays you can participate in lot of competitions, hackathons, that gives you a lot of prize money, right? This prize money you can use for building your early prototypes, your proof of concepts, and can avail later stage of funding. Then there are a lot of grants available in the ecosystem. Subsidies are बहुत सारी available हैं. There's a new concept called crowdfunding, where you convince a lot of people to put a very small amount of money, 500 रुपए, 1000 रुपए, 2000 रुपए, वो आपकी कंपनी में डालते हैं as a pool to build a successful product, and once you do that, they get a limited benefit of earning few shares of the company, right? So crowdfunding is a very kind of a popular concept these days. Then once you develop a successful, let's say prototype, or you reach to a stage where your product can be introduced to a market or has been introduced to market and serving a few customers, you can form a company, give some of these shares of the company to external investor and receive funding support. There are angels, venture capital. ये सारे ही बहुत ही सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी टर्म है, जिसको इंटरेस्ट है, इफ यू कैन जस्ट गूगल, you will have a lot of reference material to go through, right? For later stage of funding, you can approach banks, and there is also self-fueled. When you are not eyeing very high growth rate, you can continue generating small profits, invest that profit into your own business and continue growing your company, right? And there is a very interesting source of funding which is called incubator and accelerator, right? Incubators are organizations that are mandated to create an environment, right? जब कोई premature baby born होता है तो हम उसको glass के box में रखते हैं, right? That glass box creates a conducive environment for small babies to grow. Similarly, incubators create that conducive environment for new businesses, for startups to grow. Right? And you can avail various type of funding support from incubator. I'll very quickly talk about the Sardar Patel Technology Business Incubator, which is the incubator where I am working. Right. So we were founded in 2015. We are a not-for-profit institution. We are on a Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Andheri campus, hosted by Sardar Patel Institute of Technology. Basically, we are supported by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So our initial support came from DST, and we continue to receiving a lot of financial support for startup from DST, Government of India. And again, being on the same campus, we have a talent pool access, infrastructure access to other institutions on the campus like S.P.J. Institute of Management. S.P.I.T is our host institute. Obviously, हमको सारा ही support वहाँ से मिलता है. And there are other two reputed institutes like SP College of Engineering as well as Bhavan's Arts, Science and Commerce College. Right. These are some of the pictures of our facilities. So some office spaces, laboratory spaces that we have created. So startups can come to our campus, work from here, use the facility to prototype, do R&D work, small scale manufacturing also, and help their businesses grow. As an incubator, we provide, we are a kind of one-stop solution for all startup requirements. Like all incubators, we not only provide funding support, we do a lot of mentoring and training. So connect you to right type of mentors in the ecosystem, mentors in technology field, mentors in finance field, mentors in marketing, legal, compliance, CA, CS, everything. So we do all this kind of mentoring, training, business advisory support. We provide office spaces. You have already seen our photographs. We provide a lot of networking opportunities. So networking with angels, VCs, other ecosystem enablers, so other incubators, other supporters in the ecosystem, other startups for mutual learning that we do. We do a lot of talent for our startups. So a lot of students from the campus, from two engineering, one management, one arts and commerce college. Our startup regularly hire the students as interns, and some of the students also are then absorbed as full-time employees in our startups. Right? Discuss to talk about. Hello.
आगे जाके बैठ
Hello.
छटबंड मार
Hello. Hello. Somebody has turned his mic on.
Hello.
लोग कम पड़ेंगे दो तीन
Aarti
आदमी
madam.
Anand sir, can you?
हाँ actually आरती मैडम.
Hello.
Yes sir. Yes sir. Wait a minute.
Can you mute?
Somebody else is speaking on his.
बोले कि
आरती
आज
मैडम.
बात कर देता हूँ काम को देता हूँ
She's.
Hello.
Yes sir. Yes. Wait. Ahmed sir. Ahmed sir, can you turn it off? Turn it off your mic.
Sir,
Ahmed sir.
you can mute the participant, sir.
Actually, madam is having control. She's.
हाँ करवा दो
Okay. So we do a lot of activities, programs in our incubator. So from sensitization activities to supporting startup till the growth level, we have different programs. We engage with different communities. I'll talk about these programs at a later in later slides. But again, what I wanted to highlight is, as an incubator, we start engaging at a very early stage. What we are doing right now is a kind of sensitization activity that helps a lot of students and faculty member understand what startup is, what innovation is, what entrepreneurship is. Right from that level to supporting startups, young students, first-time entrepreneurs with their early stage ideas, helping them form companies, helping them in their difficult times to a level where they have grown big, generate funds from outside, build sustainable business, and then gradually move out of SPTBI facility. So we do all these activities at different levels with different kind of training programs, with different kind of funding programs. These are four major funding programs that we operate. I will go in one by one. So people who have good ideas, right, but they do not have fund to build their first prototype. The prototype that you can take to your investors and ask for more money to build business, or the prototype that you can take to your customers and request for orders, right? So people who have good ideas but do not have money to build the prototype can apply under Nidhi Prayas program and avail up to rupees 10 lakh for again building the prototypes, right? Uh, by the way, this program is sector agnostic, but only for physical products. Every year we deploy 1 crore rupees to support around 10 to 12 startups in 1 year, and we have extended this support to 24 grantees in last 2 years, and we have already committed 2 crore rupees till date under this program. We have sanctioned for 5 years, so again in coming years we would continue to look for good ideas where we can extend the funding support for building successful prototypes, right? Again, I am highlighting this is a grant program. People who want to build prototypes can apply under this program, avail up to 10 lakh rupees. This being a grant, the money is not expected to come back, but the only expectation is the successful prototype that you have promised as a part of your application should be completed, right? Then we have a seed fund program, again supported by Department of Science and Technology. So people who build successful prototypes now need money to take this product into the market, sell it to customers, generate business, right? They may need to set up some manufacturing facilities, some marketing expenses. They may have to hire some people, right? Run operations for business. So for all these activities, we extend up to 1 crore rupees at seed fund. So the earlier program, Nidhi Prayas, this is a grant program, but this is a seed investment program. So this is not a grant, by the way. So we can invest up to 1 crore rupees. This investment can be made either against equity or as a loan or as a combination of it, right? So this depends on case to case basis, right? And generally in 3 to 5 years timeline, as an incubator, we take exit from our existing investment. So till date, we have supported 7 startups and already committed 2 crore rupees. And from this year onwards, again, we are likely to receive our next tranche of funding from the government, and we would continue to look for good investable startups. And we also have a Startup India Seed Fund scheme, which is supported by DPIIT of Government of India, where there are two type of funding support available. One is grant up to 20 lakh rupees, and seed investment up to 50 lakh rupees, right? For grants, again, we do not expect the money to come back to us, and we request the grantees to complete their prototyping and product trials within a year's timeline. Whereas when we invest in seed, again, we look to get exit in 3 to 5 years timeline. Till date, we have supported 16 startups under this program, and we have committed around 3.1 crore rupees to these startups. We also run other programs. So all of our startups are not with us only for funding program. They also want mentoring. They also want trainings. They also want to use our infrastructure. They also want to use our network, right? So we run incubation and pre-incubation program depending on the stage where your startup is. Then we also have virtual incubation program, people who want to use our non-physical resources like our mentors, our network, the I mean online services that we offer. They enroll in our virtual incubation program. And then for students and faculty member for our campus, as well as the few institutions who have tied up with us, who have collaborated with us, we offer the students and faculty members of this institution free access to our incubation services for a few initial months, and then discounted services for almost similar period. So all the students and faculty members also avail incubation and pre-incubation services of SPTBI. Right. Till date, we have supported around 174 incubators, right? Almost 120 of these companies have graduated, reached to next level of their journey, right? And around 55, 56 are currently working with us on a daily basis. These are some of the successful, inspiring stories from SPTBI ecosystem, right? Scholar was a company where SPTBI has made investment. Scholar was acquired by Byju's in 2019. At that point of time, it was a very big news. You all have seen Ask Vidyalaya on Shark Tank season 1. Till the time their episode was telecast, they were the highest investment offer that they had received till that point of time. And there is a very young team of young engineers called Peer Tech Company, which is still, by the way, all these are SPTBI investments. So Peer Tech still operates from our office. They serve to restaurant industry, AR/VR solution as well as fintech. So this is, by the way, old news which says they had raised around 4 crore rupees. They have gone ahead, raised 4 5 more crore rupees. So till date they have raised around 8 9 crore rupees, and their current monthly transactions are around 6 to 7 crores. Again, this is per month transactions that they are facilitating is what I'm talking about. So these are very inspiring and in news stories that have come out of SPTBI ecosystem, right? I have spoken about two funding opportunities or the ministry schemes that SPTBI offers. One is from DST, one is from DPIIT. But apart from that, there are other initiatives of government of India, like BIRAC is there, then there is MIT is there, then there is Atal Innovation Mission is there, then there are state government schemes are also there. As a young student entrepreneurs, as a young faculty members, you can avail these all these facilities very easily. The very easy way to learn majority of this initiative is to go on Startup India portal, and majority of these initiatives are listed there. The basic information regarding these schemes, the funding support available. If you go to respective websites from Startup India website, you also learn which are the centers that learn runs these programs and then get benefited, right? So in short, I wanted to cover the basics of entrepreneurship, innovation, and then highlight some of the interesting funding opportunities and also share about how SPTBI is supporting startup in the ecosystem in this session. I hope I have covered them well, and I can take
Gautami madam has raised the hand.
questions. Yes.
Gautami madam. Hello. Gautami madam, you raise your hand. Do you have any question?
We can also take other members' question, any students, any other faculty members, if they want to ask, if they want to share something, we are open to it.
Yeah, you can raise your hand. Or you can ask some questions related to this. Students or faculty, any questions related to entrepreneurship, how to proceed ahead?
Sir, a very important question is how to balance. Suppose students want to start this entrepreneurship work in their academic curriculums, suppose in engineering second year, third year, like that way. So for that, your guidance is very important for the students so that they can thought over that what should be the way of approach for doing this entrepreneurship work. Maybe in second year, third year, like that way. So please highlight on that.
Okay. So, sir, I personally believe if you want to start a business, sooner is better. But I cannot generalize this because when I say sooner, sooner also comes with the capabilities, right? So if you are as a second year, third year student, if you are comfortable and confident enough that you possess the required skills, required knowledge in the system, then it's better to start early, right? But if you do not have the kind of understanding of the business, or you need any of the technical or the commercial skill to be acquired, then it makes sense to work with somebody for a short duration, uh, gain that knowledge, acquire that skill and expertise, and then start business. But in majority of the cases, the young entrepreneurs that we work with, they are confident enough, so they develop a basic confident enough on things while they are practicing it, right? But again, this is personal choice, personal comfort level. So if you are as an individual confident that if any of these skills you do not have but can quickly acquire while practicing business, it's better to start early.
Okay.
There is, by the way, other option. Some of the skills you can decide to have in your teammates, right? So let's say मैं एक company शुरू कर रहा हूँ. I am an engineer, so I bring engineering knowledge, but मुझको marketing and finance समझ में नहीं आता. So I can partner with somebody who has a degree in management, right? And I can make him a co-founder in the company or a business partner in the company and can start. And there is also a third option. The skills that you cannot acquire, you can hire, right? So I can hire people from those background and run company. But when it comes to hiring, you also need money to hire, right? So this is again informed choice that you have to make, right? Either you can acquire those skills, or you can have co-founders having those complementary skills, or you can hire people who can perform those tasks for you, right? So these are three choices there.
If you can afford, sir, again the consultancy services are also available, right? So
Right, but
you
you have
can
to
have,
pay for it.
yeah, for short duration. Yes.
Right.
Yes, any other question, please? We're expecting some more questions from the students also.
बोल ना.
All right, so I don't see more questions.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this session. No more
Yes.
questions? Okay then. So we are at the conclusion of the session. Hi all. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of you for coming here and joining this session. I'm very much grateful to our own CEO, Hardik Joshi sir, SPTBI, who has taken out a time for us today and honored to give his sharing his experiences, insights with us. Thank you very much, sir. I'm also thankful to our principal, sir, Dr. B.N. Chaudhary, who is actually inspiring us and the motivation behind this IIC cell. Our IIC in charge, Dr. Kiran Talele, sir, also in giving us so many insights how to proceed ahead to arrange these kind of seminars, etc., etc. And our in charge IIC cell, Dr. Aarti Karande, madam, who is actually doing all those groundwork and making this possible, these kind of events for you people, as well as guiding us to have these kind of sessions. I'm very much thankful to all the participants, all mentee colleges, their students, and all the faculty members. Thank you very much for joining these particular sessions and give us a feedback, any improvements required, anything else which we wish to add into or subtract into. And that is the major motivation for us to arrange such kind of more seminars for you people. Thank you very much all, and thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for your patient hearing, and thank you, team SPTBI, for allowing me an opportunity to interact with everyone. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, thank you. So we'll conclude the session.